Yep, all we gotta do is pull up the file. So.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Dude, was it just gonna be Unitonic then?
Zach.
I'm coming!
These are Oz. Like, now we need you. To do the ranking shit. Don't you want to see this?
It's pretty neat.
That's why we told you to stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we have a presentation and everything.
Yeah.
Everyone gather right around.
You can...
You're not...
Jackson PR right here, baby.
Yeah,
You
okay.
didn't show up on stuff because this is season 0, so it was a short season.
Alright, so...
And you're not on it because it's like just for Jackson people, and you're like on a real PR. It's for people who are not going to make another PR.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, there's the Ann Arbor PR.
I can't make the Ann Arbor PR.
Try
I'm
not to get in
free.
the way.
Thank you for coming, though.
Yeah, first on the Ann Arbor.
You guys might want to stand over here. I'll try to go this way.
Go. You should be able to go full screen with it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to...
Are you recording right now?
Yes.
Okay, we'll just edit this out.
I've got food at home. Whenever you're ready. Okay, it'd be awesome if we could just minimize talking.
Yeah, we gotta like.
So I'm Coleslaw. That's Super Atomic. We're presenting the Jackson Smash 4 rankings. I don't want to call them power rankings because he said that was lame. So ranking criteria: you either must live or reside near Jackson, or mainly enter Jackson events and identify as part of the Jackson scene, like me. And you must have attended and entered singles in at least 50% of Jackson Smash events. Outsiders will be marked with an underline, and all records will be a set count, and game count will be in parentheses. So number 10, we have Super Atomic. Do you want me to just...
I don't want to talk about myself, so I'm going to let you talk about this one, and I will probably talk about the rest of them and the rest of the players, and probably add stuff subjectively.
Yes. Super Atomic is the Jackson Smash 4 teal. He was also free. He also commentates at a lot of events as
Not
well
wrong.
as all Jackson Smash 4 events. We believe that his extra responsibilities hold him back as a player, but he has enough potential to be considered a possible threat in future brackets.
No, I
Super
don't.
Atomic may be considered the voice of our scene and is beloved by all of us. Super Atomic mains Pikachu, but very rarely uses Charizard when the going gets tough.
Yeah, basically.
Super Atomic's notable matchups. Wins, unfortunately, he doesn't have any.
I'm so free!
His losses include an 0-2 loss to Trave. The game counts 0-5.
Trave's hard, okay?
An 0-1 record against... Not really, I beat him. An 0-1 record against Spirit.
That was really close, though.
An 0-1... Every time that was close, though. You have no idea. The stock, it was last stock last...
No, that actually was last stock last hit. I'm not going to say that about the rest of them, but that one actually was close.
An 0-1 record against BK Slider, and he took one game from Calico.
I don't know how I did that.
He did. I also did. And it was 0-2, and he has a 1-5 game count, and he's 0-1 versus Shizor, and it's a 1-3 game
Scissors
count.
leveled up, dude.
And number 9, we have Shizor.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Resident Cloud main. Shizor is a laid-back guy who's pretty quiet at most events, but is always happy to be there. Shizor struggles a lot with pressure, inside and outside the game, a lot, and that can be the main factor attributed to his losses. Shizor has proven a few times that he can pull off sick combos, and his best asset is his ground game.
It really is, yeah, because he doesn't do some of the Cloud things off stage, but he's adopted Cloud basically when the season started for us, and that really did help up his level up. He was playing like Fox and Mario, and he goes Mario still sometimes. I'm sure if you flip the
Solo, man.
Please stop.
Shizor's notable matchups. He has a 2-0 record against Oz, baby! And it's a 4-2 game count. He's 1-0 against Super Atomic. We already talked about that. And his notable losses, he has played a lot of us, as you can see. 0-1 versus Spirit. 0-3 versus Coleslaw. 1-7 game count. 0-4 versus Indy. A 1-8 game count. He's 0-1 versus Stupid Target. He's 0-1 versus Trey, but he did take a game, which is actually pretty impressive. And an 0-1 record against Calico.
Let's talk. Hold on. Don't flip it. Let's talk about Scizor versus Oz, because that's huge, actually. Because Oz actually has a lot going on, but his losses to Scizor, for some reason, I don't know why Oz can't beat Scizor, because like Oz beats a lot of us, but he can't beat Scizor for some reason. It's hilarious.
That's right.
It's magic. It's magic.
I don't understand. Like, what are you doing?
He's giving him the scissors.
This is a Comedy Central roast of Oz, all right? We're not even doing it.
I wanted to talk about it,
Let's
though.
talk about how
But that I'm done now. Like, that's what I had to say.
Okay. At number 8, we have Indy. Indy's quite an odd fellow. He has a very unpredictable performance pattern, so it's always difficult to say whether or not he can beat someone. His only consistent character so far has been Corrin, while switching off of Cloud and going towards a Mars secondary for the future, which he didn't even use today.
Nope.
Indy rides.
He's got his
Indy
coach right
normally
on the
rides with his friend BK Slider to tournaments. He has a good days and pretty bad ones as well.
Yeah, I do.
Indy's notable matchups. He's 4-0 versus Shizor with an 8-1 record. He's 1-0 versus Coleslaw, unfortunately.
Free.
His losses include an 0-2 record against Calico, although he did take a game, both sets, and an 0 record against Oz, and he did lose to Spook in, I think, amateur bracket.
I think one of the biggest things is looking at that record against Calico. Although he's lost, he took a game both times, and Calico is, we'll see later on, Calico is very good.
Yes,
And
Calico is very good.
that's something that's an indicator to me, at least, that he's got some skills. He's just got to unleash them.
Yeah, let me practice. I'll show you guys.
You say that every week. You're supposed to actually practice.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to practice.
Yeah.
All right, is that it?
Yep, we're good.
At number 7, we have Oz. Extremely tall and indecisive, Oz struggles to pick a main character.
That's my
He has used so many characters in tournaments around the region, but continues to venture on in hopes that one will stick. He hopes to use Robin and Sheik from week 6 and on. Oz is a solid player who should never be slept on no matter who he picks game 1.
That's true.
Yeah, go ahead and flip that slide there. Let's talk about them notable matchups. He's Master Hand.
I don't know who to put.
He's 1-0 on Coleslaw, 1-0 on Indy, 0-2 on Scizor. And that's the super relevant thing. 0-1 against Calico, 0-1 against Trave, 0-1 against BK Slider, and 0-1 against Stupid Target. He's played a lot of Jackson. That's interesting, to say the least. He's played a lot of games. That's important.
After or before Atomic Fest, Oz actually had the most opponents that, like, out of anyone who had ever entered Mega XP. Oz had played the most people. He played 18 people. Calico now broke that record with 19.
I would say, and Atomic Fest was a broken event because we had, I think, what, 9 people?
We had 8.
Eight
no,
people?
7. It was 7.
Oh,
And we had a round robin. best of
7
five.
with a round robin best of 5,
it
yeah.
was very
So
good.
you're gonna get extra matches, and it did help us determine like who was where on the PR or on the rankings.
Okay. At number 6, we have the Dive Bomber, the Showstopper, the main course.
goodness.
Coleslaw.
I wonder who wrote this.
Hold on.
You want to read this?
Why did
Yeah, Coleslaw certainly has an ego, but it's all in good fun. Despite being a funny, happy-go-lucky guy, he's determined to win. Coleslaw uses sheer intimidation and erratic movements to scare his opponent into making mistakes.
That is not a lot.
I wonder who wrote this. Coleslaw uses his signature green Captain Falcon skin in every bracket and every game. He desires one day to be better than the likes of Fatality or Kashmir, and he wants to single-handedly put Jackson on the map. Why do you want to single-handedly put Jackson on the map? I'm obviously doing a lot for Jackson.
Did you see me? Did you see me taking games from Linus? Did you see me?
That doesn't count. That wasn't season 0.
How does that not count?
It counts for season 1. We'll talk about it
yeah.
in 6 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Will your 2017 morph into the long-awaited 20GX, which he now has a tattoo for some reason, and he's kissing it right now. And maybe he has something to say about it. All right. Notable wins.
Oh, yeah. Scares opponents into making mistakes.
He's
I
3-0
do.
on Scizor,
I do. It did
1-0 on Stupid Target, 1-0 on Super Atomic.
That is supposed to be 2-0 versus Stupid Target as of now.
It again, season 0 versus season 1.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
We're gonna do this once every. What do we decide on? 6.
I thought we were gonna do 12 weeks.
Yeah, 12 weeks actually. Never mind. Let me fix my face. Maybe we'll do one halfway through the season.
We could.
No.
We got Oz.
Check in.
Yeah, check in. We got
here.
Oz, Spirit, Indy, and Calico all with an 0-1 record.
Except for Calico. I took game 1 against him. and-
No, it's 0-1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
0-1.
It was a
And then
1-3
he's
game count.
tied up with Trave, but he has lost the set count or the game counts.
Yeah, it was a best of 5, and he 3-0'd me, but I did 2-0 him in a best of 2. Best of
Was
2
that the week he played a little suspect?
Yeah, that was when
Okay.
he had a rough week.
He had a little bit of Trave did drop a little bit in performance. We'll talk about that a little later on. One thing I'd like to focus on is that 3-0 on Scizor. That's important. 7-1. Scizor needs to step up a little bit.
You keep saying Scizor, but his name is Shizor. That's how you pronounce it.
You know what? I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
Have you ever heard me say Shizor?
Point
Like,
is, he can do it.
Shizor.
Okay.
It's
is he even over here? Oh, there he is. Dude, why aren't
Just
you
be
looking? You
quiet
gotta
over
come see
there.
us.
Don't be mean.
I'm a little curious.
Okay.
Whoever made this slideshow obviously doesn't know Coleslaw very well because he should have a green falcon right there.
I couldn't
Well, yeah,
find.
because they clearly don't know me. I use Advent Children Cloud and.
No one knows the difference between the clouds.
Hey.
All right, go ahead and roll slide.
Coleslaw made the slideshow, and he unfortunately could not find character portraits for
I can-
anything
I
other
can
than
find
Can't be a
one.
cloud man,
I
you
couldn't.
fraud.
Okay, number
Okay.
5, we have Trave. Trave is the middle ground of Jackson. Taking multiple games from our best and even a couple of our high-tier outsiders, Trave has proven that he is destined for the top of the food chain. The question is, how long will it take him to make it there? Trave uses Lucas as of Atomic Fest and beyond, but he made his name known using Fox.
Basically, I've talked to Trave a lot. He's a good friend. We carpool a fair bit. He basically, Fox was like his top tier experiment, and then he like went back to his true main. You want to flip the slide there? So we are gonna look at that ugly 2-0 on Super Atomic. Nope, I am. We got Oz and Scissor both with 1-0s. Losses to Linus, Spirit, Calico, and BK Slider.
He did take a game from Linus, though. Very impressive.
Yeah.
He also took a game from Spirit, and that lost.
And it looks like he might be getting there on Coleslaw. Or not Coleslaw, Calico, excuse me.
Yeah. So up until Atomic Fest, Trave told me that he had never taken a game from Alec Calico in tournament, and so I thought that taking him to Game 5 in finals was actually really cool.
Yeah, no, that was very hype at Atomic Fest. That was probably one of the coolest things we did.
We should do that again. Again, for real.
Maybe someday.
Number 4, we have Spirit. Spirit is a very consistent player. He time and time again presents his case as one of Jackson's finest smashers. He consistently shows a level of play that we don't believe anyone can argue as being below average. Peach is his main, and while he has trouble against certain characters, Spirit continues to haunt his opponents regardless of their identity or background.
Yeah, Spirit's a almost unique case. He's one of the few people that made like a considerable drive for the very first Megga XP Weekly. He came in second that week. That's probably where.
No, he came in third.
Oh, he came in third. Excuse me. Calico was second. I do apologize. I'm doing all this from memory. Coleslaw's actually more of our numbers guy, and I do a lot of things by like brain feel, is what I call it. I'm like, yeah, I believe this person is about here because of X, Y, and Z reasons, and we agreed on most everything until we got down to like really nitty gritty things, and we kind of moved some numbers around, but like. My brain feel and your numbers, they matched up pretty well.
I don't remember you really disagreeing with me on any place.
I think we moved down. I want to say the most notable one was maybe Target. We moved him down a couple spots.
Oh, that was after you pointed out because I didn't realize
Yeah.
Slider. I just forgot Slider was super good.
Yeah.
Okay. And number 3, we have Stupid Target, the very first MXP champion. Stupid Target comes every week with a wacky personality, a chip on his shoulder, and a very fiery drive to win.
And memes.
And me. Stupid Target is our youngest competitor, but he's certainly a force to be reckoned with. Maining Mario and occasionally getting his hands dirty with Falco or Captain Falcon, Stupid Target looks to regain the edge he once had at our first tournament.
I think definitely the implementation of a lot of outside players, a lot of top players, I think that rattles him a little bit. I think he goes on tilt maybe a little bit easier than a lot of us, which is unfortunate, but it's something that he'll learn with some age. He's probably the youngest player we have here, unless Fuzzy shows up, and then Fuzzy's the youngest one. But
I want to meet Fuzzy. Stupid Target has this problem where if he gets intimidated by his opponent or if he's facing me in bracket, because I am the dive bomber, the
Oh
showstopper.
my
the
god,
man.
you are talking
He-
so much stuff
he
about yourself
doesn't-
right now.
yeah.
He just kind of plays around and wants to have fun. He goes
Yeah.
through memes and everything. He doesn't actually try. So
Y-
that's something
yeah, I think that's another thing is sometimes he doesn't take it seriously, especially if I think like he knows like it's unrealistic for him to think that he's gonna win. You know, when we got the likes of Rayquaza and King James and Casper coming in here trying to mess things up.
You can totally do it. What?
I mean, it's possible, but it becomes much harder than like the very first week. It was essentially our week of freeness, and then people took notice because we had a 20-man weekly with like no real names. You had people going that like who did travel before, who'd go like 1-2, you know, taking third.
So where's Spirit from? I thought he was from Jackson.
No, he's not from Jackson. He's I was
Warzone, he's gotta be close by over there.
I would say I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know he's like 40 minutes. I want to say like south east of here.
Oh, he's not that
So
far.
yeah, he's
No.
probably
I
around
tried
Westland
an
then.
Okay, so Stupid Target's little matchups. He has a 2-0 record versus Spirit. Those came from the first week. He fought him in winner semis and losers finals.
Yeah.
He has 5-1 game record. He has a 1-0 record versus Oz and a 1-0 record versus Shizor. He is tied with Calico 2-2 and has also tied for game count 6-6. He has an all-one record versus Coleslaw, baby. And, that's about it, really. Stupid Target sort of lacks data against the regular, the rest of the 10 of us. He simply normally fights other people in brackets.
Yep,
that aren't from
a lot of
Jackson,
times
but
what
he's
happens
really-
as far as seeding goes, I can spread some light on this, because he's had good performances and he's had very high peaks, so if he's having a good day, you want to seed him well. A lot of times he gets seeded pretty well, so he kind of gets seeded away from like players like me who regularly fraud out.
I'm telling you, like, when you're seeding, obviously don't do, like, us as the top 10.
Oh,
Like,
gosh,
definitely
no.
have us always in order from now on until we get into
I try to look at who's played each other recently and try to avoid that if I can. Conflicts are the biggest thing that I seed around.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, all right.
Because I would much rather have, people who play each other all the time get to play new people, because that's the point of going to tournaments, is to get to play new people and
you
not
never
just
go
in
and play your
friendlies.
Yeah, I'm tired of playing you, Indy.
Hey, yo.
Guys
not
didn't
my-
play until like round 3 of losers.
We ready?
Yep, we're good.
At number 2, we have BK Slider. Jackson's second in command, only by a razor-thin margin is BK Slider. There isn't much to say about Slider besides his consistency. The guy just doesn't lose unless he meets an outsider in bracket. Lacking in any notable losses, we eagerly await Slider's performances and Jackson's bright future. Using such a straightforward character in Pit, it is easy to see how talented this player really is.
So one thing I've noticed about Slider is I feel like back from the Dojang Jays, I feel like he's hit like at least a minor level up. He's been doing very, very well. I don't know if it's maybe just the way Dojang was structured, or if what it is exactly. Maybe he just didn't like the dojo, and he likes office buildings a little bit better. Maybe that's what it is. I described BK Slider earlier today as Pitt the person. He's just super consistent. There's nothing like insane about him that's gonna like jump off the page to you, but he's also just super good. Like,
The guy just wins, and he doesn't really win with style. He doesn't really win with too much grace. He just wins. That's the
I would say he is very graceful, actually.
Okay, my bad. I was trying to do the DK thing, but yeah.
Don't win with style, but he does win
Yeah,
with
like
grace.
He's just straightforward.
This
He will
comment has
just.
a funny face.
basically,
I mean, yeah, not really.
basically, you don't. There's nothing. There's nothing flashy about BK Slider, the player, the person, but he's just very interesting. And as you can see, when I got the wins and losses pulled up, unique guy. Like he's tied with Calico, but he has wins on the rest of Jackson, and he's fighting outsiders consistently because he's going far in bracket.
Well, not the rest of Jackson. That'd be a little silly. He hasn't played me yet. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't have any significant losses.
He can beat me.
Look at. Hold on. Look at those O's.
Who's ranked where?
Look at the.
Oh, you're ranked 6.
Look at the game.
The matchups?
I want to take a look just briefly at his wins. They're all 2 O's. That just attests to his
Yeah,
consistency
that's true.
and
Oz
his
definitely consistency.
and his difficulty. Like, to even drop a game, like he's just amazingly consistent.
Yeah, Oz being a guy who normally takes games from people that are better than him or ranked above him and everything, he just hasn't against Slider. It was only one set, granted, but
Yeah.
it's still 2-0.
He needs a little bit more data, and we'll have a lot more data next time around.
Oh, of course.
We wanted to start a new season with the new Megga XP. We got a whole new experience here. We've kind of emerged, kind of like a phoenix rising from the ashes, except for bigger and better before. Basically, this is a huge level up as far as the venue goes.
this place is
It's significantly nicer.
Okay, so number 1 we have Calico. His signature pink hat strikes fear into those who oppose him. He is Jackson's best player and what I call the ace. Calico has had difficulty in choosing a main just like Oz, but has decided on Mewtwo going forward. Most known for his week 1 loss to Super Target for the championship, with Falco, he clearly developed game plans and bounced back better than ever. Calico does not have a single losing record against any of his 9 fellow Jackson Smashers, similar to BK Slider, and is looking to keep it that way. He has
Oh my goodness!
played-
Look at those results.
Freeing us up.
Let's
I
look
can't
at
stand
his.
this.
I think we should first look at his ties. He's tied with Stupid Target and BK Slider, like we covered,
Okay,
with
yep.
a slight edge in game count against Slider. And he's 3-0 versus Trave, 7-2 game count, 2-0 versus Super Atomic, 2-0 versus
Woo!
1-0 versus Spirit, Oz, Coleslaw, and Shizor, and he does not have any significant losses. I know that Calico has lost to Hawk twice, and I don't believe he has ever played Linus yet. If he does, I wonder if he's going to take a game just like Coleslaw did. But, yeah, so it's clear to see that Calico is obviously consistent despite the character that he picks. He doesn't need any, like, he doesn't really... He comes in with a game plan and he reacts to his opponent.
Basically,
instead of his character, which is something I have been coaching him on doing since I met him. That he should be playing against his opponent and not their character, which is something that we should all do.
No, he's got a very good Bowser, a very good Mewtwo. He went Marth and Cloud in just various tournaments. He's just all around very, very solid. And he just doesn't really lose to anybody outside of outsiders that are significantly better than him.
No, he's definitely our best smasher. We'll see how he performs the next 12 weeks, but I don't see him falling from number 1.
No, I don't see that at all.
And we have our Jackson, Michigan PR image. You can see Oz has got the all, and in the top right corner, I wanted to make this known. We did one of the Melee guys actually found the City of Jackson's logo, and it's very similar to a Smash logo.
Yeah, it's very similar.
So he just slightly rotated the pieces, and then it looked into a Smash logo and everything. I'll post it on Facebook if you guys want to download that or something, because it is cool looking.
I say it's actually very cool that it worked out that way. And it kind of almost attests to what we're trying to become, is we're trying to become a hub for the state of Smash.
Yes.
Like the West Michigan guys were complimenting, is that we're like an hour and a half from just about everybody. That's a conversation I had earlier today. People are like so appreciative of this weekly because we're so close to, or well, we're not close, but we're not far from everyone. Like it's a fair drive. It might not be a close drive, but it's a fair drive for almost everyone.
Another thing too is that we're definitely trying to be a very unique weekly, as you will see in the future. I don't think we have any recordings of it, but we have. Well, James recorded it, but
Yeah.
we have we do the WWE style entrances and the announcing and everything
We
like that.
did triples.
And we did triples. I don't know about every week, but I really do hope that we increase our numbers regularly. And if we get a bunch, the more outsiders we get that are good, hopefully the more, mid-level, low-level players that will come and then try to get better every week.
I want to talk about our attendance just briefly. Our attendance has been amazing. I've been blown away because basically how this came about, I don't know how many people know this story, but basically my boy Caesar sent a message to me. He's like, hey, they're looking to try to start Smash 4 at one of the Melee events. And so I posted like a few different things in the event page. I'm sure the Melee guys weren't super thrilled about it, but there was a list. Like I had a bunch of different stuff, and like James was like, yeah, come down, we'll talk about it. And then we had a conversation, and he's like, yeah, you want to run Smash 4 here? I'm like, yeah, let's run Smash 4. He's like, what types of numbers do you think we'll hit? I'm like, well, we'll probably hit about.
Talk about the building and everything.
We'll probably hit about 10. Was my estimate for
James, you're
the initial.
Thank you for telling me. I didn't even notice. Was I really not the whole time?
You were plugged in.
Just this when I moved it? Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm like, oh.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, James, if you want to sit here and talk about what are we doing?
We just wrapped up the season 0 Jackson PR.
What is this?
That's the PR image in our rankings for. It's just basically for internal players. It's people who are showing up consistently and that want to help grow Jackson. A lot of times, these are people we talk a lot, like all of us. And we're working to try to grow. And I was telling the story of basically how Smash 4 came to be at MXP. Basically, you just asked if I was coming out. I just was like, yeah, sure, I'll come out. And I said, yeah, well, I think we'll have about 10, the first few weeks. It'll take some time. And we hit 20 right out of the gate. I was astounded by that. And we've never dropped below 20. Today is the start of season 1. And we hit our very highest number of 26. And yes, as Meow is crying, that it was a power ranking for the state of Michigan eligible tournament. That's going to matter to top level players like Rayquaza, like King James. We now have a 15-man power ranking, possibly 20 in the future for Michigan. So it's going to matter, those head-to-heads, to get more people involved with our power ranking. Because what we saw with the new season, and like advertised that we're going to have 10 people, or 15 people, instead of 10. We had the 11 through 15 guys. They leveled up super duper hard this season. So it's looking good to push further and further. So I would like for you to just talk a little bit about what you'd like to happen in the near future, and then kind of looking a little bit further forward for Megga XP.
Well, first of all, congratulations to you. You've done a phenomenal job with everything here. I mean, seriously. I've only known you, like 2 months now?
Yeah.
Not even really. And I think that you, and I mean, obviously some of your supporters
Yes.
here have done just an incredible job, much better than I could have ever thought about doing myself.
It literally couldn't be done without the venue and the player support. I attribute everything to the players.
What did you think of the venue today, by the way?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's huge. That's the result. That's the remark I've gotten most, is that the venue is huge.
So a little bit tricky to find. Once you're here, it's pretty awesome.
Yep, and that's a little bit of a learning curve, but now you've had 26 Smash 4 guys in here with a little bit of overlap with Melee guys. I don't know what number they hit. I know Aggie was in a little bit. He wasn't feeling so good today, so I didn't get to talk to him a little bit as much as normal.
A lot of the regular Melee players were not here today due to work schedules and all that.
Oh, okay.
You know, we were pulling the venue fee numbers and all that stuff, and we were like, yeah, it's a little bit lower than we thought because of the Smash 4 thing was so big, but a lot of those Melee, like 6 that I can think of just off the top of my head were not here today because of work schedules and stuff. And of course, also, not that it has anything to do with what we're talking about now, but the Pokemon League had a huge event in Howell too, so there was like no Pokemon players here today at all. We also do Pokemon here, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
you do all types of stuff though.
Everything. Well, we're working on doing everything. So. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously next week with Easter happening, we are going to be off on Sunday.
Yeah.
However, we are going to do an open gym on Saturday night, and all of y'all who are watching or listening or standing here are welcome to come down. We do all the fighting games, including Smash 4 and Smash Melee as well, but as well as Street Fighter 5, Mortal Kombat XL, all that stuff. It is just for fun. $5 venue, all friendlies. You can do a if you want to.
50-50, I'm going to show up about 8 p.m. There's Tempest in West Michigan. Yeah. So I'm debating, and it might just depend on how I feel. If I show up and we have numbers, I will run just a fun bracket. At most $1 buy-in. Just be a fun bracket more than anything else. It won't be any type of real, but it'll be just a good time.
Now, is this what's showing on the screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yes, he wants to do an amiibo tournament.
We're not ever doing an amiibo tournament.
Oh, come on.
How do we put this back on the screen here?
Hit escape, I believe. That's the software there. Go with the commentators.
Oh, commentator stream. Oh, hey, look at that hairline. No, but yeah. So also, I mean, yeah, a couple things just laying the groundwork here for what we'd like to do. Obviously, these weeklies have grown pretty well. 26 today, great job. Trying to get to 30. That's when we'll kick in the Megga XP pot bonus, $1 per player, which we're almost there today. And I firmly believe that if those Melee players had shown up, some of them would have played, and we would have got to the 30.
We had 2 people that would have played Smash 4 today to boost the numbers. I would have played today, even though I'm not really feeling super awesome. But I know I have to, I've got to come every week. I've got to be consistent. But I commentated and I did, TOing stuff. But I would have entered. There was another player who would have entered, and then I'm sure we could convince 1 to 2 more to enter to hit that 30 number.
Yeah, I think we'll get there. I mean, obviously with the week off. I mean, maybe we'll come back with a vengeance. But also we want to do. I mean, the game plan I've always had since envisioning this place is to do, a weekly and then maybe a once a month, a little bit bigger tournament, once a quarter, even bigger tournament, quarterly. And then once a year, probably at the main show, Megga XP3 this year, September 23rd, 2017. Do a basically like our Super Bowl here for the Jackson circuit, if you will. So. That's the game plan, and yeah, we have plenty of space, plenty of room to grow. I mean, we could run. I mean, I know for a fact we had like 800 people in here for MegaCon, aka formerly MegaCon, Megga XP, and there was a lot of people in this room.
I'm excited that this is all going to be video games, and I'm hoping. I know sometimes Smashers are a little bit hesitant about the cons, but I'm hoping. We got competent TOs running it, and I'm hoping we can bring people out.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation with the gentleman, that gentleman right there, in fact, from Lansing. He was saying how usually he doesn't like to go to con tournaments, but I think that by having basically a permanent residency here inside the Commonwealth Commerce Center, it's not really a con tournament. It's the same thing that goes on, just happens to be a convention going on around it. So the convention's coming into their turf essentially now. So it's not a guy who only runs an event once every year, like myself, doing it. You guys will be doing it. And by September especially, we will have phenomenal technology. We'll have all the kinks worked out. It's going to be amazing.
There's some growing pains right now, obviously. Obviously, we didn't get to run our stream today. Sunday streams are a little wonky anyways, just because, people have a lot of stuff going on Sundays. Usually you play Smash on Saturdays, and then Sunday is your day to, catch up on life.
What's that? Yeah, that makes sense though. It
All right,
does.
I think probably last question. I'll wrap it up and get out of your hair here.
Hey,
No
yeah,
hair.
well, my hair's doing a good job getting out of itself. Hey.
What inspires you to like create Megga XP? Like, why Megga XP? Why not just like one game or something like that, or just why gaming in general?
Because I am a geek, okay, which is what this first G,
break down Megga
second G actually, Megga XP. It's a weird name, but it's actually an acronym for Michigan's Entertainment, Gaming, Geek, and Arts Experience,
Right.
formerly Megga Convention, but still. And yeah, I'm a geek, and you know what? I know that when I was a child, which was quite a while ago now, kids, I would have killed for a place like this, and now I have the luxury of having children of my own, and they think it is the coolest thing in the world to come down here and do this kind of stuff, and especially the actual convention portion of it. Like, yeah, the Megga XP Zone, which is where we sit now, is like kind of a spin-off of, it's like a base of operations for the actual convention.
Right.
And, you know, I think that Jackson, and especially around the Jackson area, has a phenomenal community, not only just of gamers, but just a community in general.
Right.
And I wanted to bring something cool to this town, and I think we've done that.
Yeah, I would agree that you've done it.
So,
I think it's well worth it.
and we can only, I mean, like I said, we're planning on growing every year. We don't want to grow too big because we don't want, I mean, the Commonwealth can only hold so much. But we've basically rent every room that we can rent. And they are redoing a new ballroom directly above us, which I don't know if you knew that or not, but
Yes.
it'll be ready by Megga. Actually, supposed to be ready by April 20th. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to be, but hopefully it will be.
it's
I have
okay.
faith in them, so yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna do a lot more events here, as well as obviously the big shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Smash Bash is what I want to call this next one, or well, one of these big ones, and I got plans for that. Also have
We've
plans.
probably already done Smash Bash. We got to be more creative.
Well, it's a double entendre, but we won't even talk about it. So yeah, yeah, we got a lot of things we're gonna do. It's gonna be cool.
Lots of
And
big plans.
we got to come up with names for the monthly one, kind of like, you know, how WWE does for their events every month. We will do this. It's gonna be incredible.
All right.
And Austin, wherever he went, he's gonna love it, because he loves the pay-per-view titles.
No, I got stuff.
Oh man, the Wendy's, no Wendy's tonight.
Wendy's died.
So,
All right.
all right.
I think that's probably good. We'll go ahead and wrap that up. If you want to bump that stop recording button,
All right.
we'll call it a day.
So what am I gonna love?
You're gonna love a lot of things.